can that consciousness be transformed. Otherwise, we'll always be separative. Please do pay attention a little bit. Separative, destructive, self-centered, perpetuating wars, and maintaining this everlasting division of nationalities, races, color, and all the rest of it. So if one is serious and deeply concerned with humanity, with man, with all his problems, economic, social, religious, and all that, can that mind be completely changed? And the speaker says it can be, it must be. And then the question arises, in what manner can this be brought about? Does it demand discipline? All right, sir, we are communicating with each other. We are following, not verbally, not intellectually, but actually becoming aware of one's own conditioning, the number of beliefs, the experiences, dogma, the whole human existence. Becoming aware of it, would you ask whether it is possible to transform this enormous past with all the knowledge it has acquired? Can that be transformed? Where there is knowledge, the past or the present, acquiring knowledge, knowledge is always incomplete. There is no knowledge as a whole. So, with knowledge goes ignorance. Please understand, this is really quite important to understand this. As knowledge can never be complete, therefore knowledge always goes with ignorance. Part of knowledge is part of ignorance. And when we rely entirely on knowledge as a means of advance, as a means of ascent of man, we are also maintaining ignorance. And so there is always this battle between ignorance and knowledge. And we are saying, as human beings live their lives in the past, their whole life is a movement of the past. If you observe it for yourself, you can see how we live in the 1,000 yesterdays. Our memories, our experiences, our hurts, our failures, the whole movement of time which is the past. And can that movement come to an end so that the mind is fresh, young, alive, new? Knowledge is necessary at a certain level. If you're a doctor, you must have knowledge. Surgeon, you must have knowledge. If you're a good carpenter, you must have a great deal of knowledge of wood and the implements, and so on. But knowledge is the result of experience accumulated through thousands and thousands of people through millennia. That knowledge is stored up in our brain from childhood. Genetics and so on, so on, so on. And that knowledge, based on experience, is memory. Follow? So this is all very simple. It's not highly intellectual or anything. And thought is the result of that movement of memory. As knowledge is always with ignorance, our memory is always limited. And therefore, thought is always limited. Thought can imagine that it can perceive or see or experience the limitless. But thought in itself is the outcome of knowledge with its ignorance, and therefore it is essentially, basically limited, fragmented, and never can possibly perceive the whole. This again becomes very simple and clear if you go into the whole question of thinking. And our whole nature, our whole civilizations, all the cathedrals, all the things in the cathedrals, the rituals, the whole circus of all this is based on thought. And so thought can never be sacred. Though it can create an image and call it sacred, but that thing which it has created is not sacred, because thought itself is limited. And we are caught in the images created by thought. So thought, please follow, thought can never bring about a complete transformation of the human mind. Right? Because all the things that thought has put together as consciousness, I don't know, are you interested in all this? No? If you're not, sir, don't bother to listen. Because this is really very, very serious. You have taken the trouble to come here. Rather rotten weather. And so you want to find out what the other fellow, what the speaker is trying to tell. So you have to listen, you have to find out. And in the very finding it out, you test it. You don't accept anything the speaker says. Though he is sitting on a higher platform, it doesn't give me any authority. We are investigating into the whole nature of man and whether that can be transformed. Because the way we are living is terrible, destructive, meaningless. Going to the office every day or to the factory, you know, from the moment you pass your school or examination or whatever it is, for the rest of your life. Going to the office, struggling. And so life becomes utterly meaningless. So we are saying, thought has created the most beautiful architecture, both in the East